Thank you, Professor Cushman, for this wonderful opportunity to share the dialogues and engage in conversations about cross-cultural teaching. My passion has been about cross-cultural language literacy teaching, how it's related to teacher learning as well. But regardless of social class issues and the cultural confusion notion of language literacy learning influences how parents socialize their children in their literacy learning at home, which literacy education. So they were really at war about how to best educate their children. So the issue is that Chinese parents really and Canadian teachers engage in kind of what I call silent power struggles. So they each promote their own ways of literacy, language and literacy teaching, and they really refuse to talk to each other. And another important point is that among the teachers, they see that using L1 as the reason for failure to learn L2. So this is a very important point. The question arose from my research at the time is that who adapts and to what? And so the teachers usually say, well, this is our system. This is how our system is. If you don't like it, then don't come. So that's the common attitude. I'm very familiar, right? In the meantime, I found that school literacy is also seen as singular. So it's multiple and first singular. So this is actually a description of a US classroom in a school called an international school, by the way, by a teacher. So it says that a curriculum says that there are no pictures of scenes. In this school, it says because it's so multicultural, then we don't really talk about differences. Okay, so many students are doubly disadvantaged, especially for those that fail to learn both their first language and English. So in terms of first language loss, because their first language is not seen as something positive to their learning. So this would be Hilary Jenks and a lot of critical theorists would call access without diversity, okay? Because schools fail to capitalize their first language and literacies. Another phenomenon is that these children also fail to learn second language. So they're not proficient in second language. And so this phenomenon will be called diversity without access. So you have diversity, but you don't have the access. What Lisa Delpit, urban educators, talk about the code of power. So if you don't have the access to the code of power, then you can't succeed. You have to think about diversity not as a problem, but as an asset. So think about students' skills, abilities in their first language as funds of knowledge, not as a barriers to their participation in campus life or in learning English. And we also want to see the difference, culture difference styles in learning styles as equally valuable ways of learning. So there are many ways to learn. It's just a different ways of learning. So those are the prerequisites to engage this kind of learning.